This is the Lancer Locker Show on KYNT. Now, let's talk some Mount Marty University athletics with the coaches, as well as your host and the voice of Mount Marty University athletics, Tel Tanner.
Well, it was one heck of a Lancer days, I tell you what. My name's Tel Tanner. This is KYNT 102.1 FM, AM 1450. Here for the Lancer Locker, we're going to talk a bunch of Mount Marty athletics. Once again, Lancer Days was this last week. Lancers had a lot of fun. Inducted Hall of Fame members in both fine arts and athletics, had their service awards for different guys around the community and obviously at the university, and a lot of sports. Let's talk about all of it, but first, talk about our guests today. We're talking Mount Marty men's soccer in our feature guest spots today. Head coach of the program in Oliver Tieleman, of course, and Dan Tibbett, one of his senior captains, came in and talked with us a little earlier today. Dan Tibbett is out of England. He came from Cambridge, England, and is now playing for the Mount Marty Lancers. So we talked to him about his journey, what it's like being an international student, some of the struggles with that, some of the benefits from that, and life adjusting to the U.S., and of course, a lot about the Mount Marty soccer program. So with that, let's go ahead and get to our week in review, then we'll take a break, come back with Dan in just a moment. Other Lancer athletics going on over the last couple days. Once again, it was Lancer Days, so a lot of it going on. First off, today, right now, the Mount Marty women's golf program is in Sioux Center, Iowa. They've got a 2-day meet today and tomorrow. We'll have results of that throughout the week. Once again, they're at the Siouxland Invite. Men's golf is off today. They will be back next Monday in Yankton for the MMU Tatanka Invite. When it comes to cross country, they all had the weekend off as well, both men and women. They will be competing this upcoming Saturday in Wayne, Nebraska at 10 and 10:45 at Wayne State College for the Wildcat Open on Saturday. Go to tennis now. Mount Marty men's and women's tennis is going to be in action this upcoming weekend when they have the GPAC Invite, the 27th, that is Friday, and the 28th, Saturday in Lincoln. Men's and women's tennis going to be in Lincoln. After that, we've got soccer, and there were a couple of really good wins for the Mount Marty soccer programs versus Waldorf on Saturday. They were over in Forest City, Iowa for that. The Mount Marty women's team won 3-0 in that one. A very good victory for a team that has had a lot of success. They have a winning record right at the moment, 4-3-1. They're 1-1 in conference play. That was their first conference win of the season. For the men's soccer team, they also got the win over Waldorf, also in 3-0 fashion. Mount Marty men are 4-4 overall, 1-1 in conference. And once again, we spoke with a coach and player from that program for the Locker today. Go to volleyball. The Lancer volleyball team had an impressive 5-set win over the College of St. Mary. 5 sets on homecoming on Saturday afternoon. 3-2 in 5 for the Lancers. Some of the game leaders, we'll go through them for the Lancers. In total kills, it was Julia Weber leading as usual with 21 on the day. Jaya Waholtz had 15, Mia First had 13, and Caitlin Gunther had 11. 54 assists for Tevin Erickson, that young setter, and 20 digs for Zoe Bursch. Those were some of the big performers of the game for the Lancers in the win over the College of St. Mary. Mount Marty volleyball has a 9-5 overall record, 2-3 in conference. In football now, we go to the big football game on Saturday. Mount Marty Lancers set a new all-time mark in total points scored in a game with 56 against Waldorf at home. 56-7 was your final score, highlighted by 3 special teams touchdowns for the Lancers. They ran back a punt return. Josiah Gaetani ran that one back. He was named Special Teams Player of the Week in the GPAC for that one. And they also blocked a punt and returned it. And they blocked a field goal and returned it. The special teams play was incredible, as was the offense. Lancers had 5 offensive touchdowns actually running. Trey Hansen and Ishmael Sloan had 2 rushing touchdowns. Rugby Riken threw 3 passing touchdowns, and the touchdowns were caught, 2 of them by his brother Rex Riken, and the third one by Trey Hansen. Trey got moving in this game, which was really good to see. Lancers won that ball game, and they are now 3-1 on the young season. 2-1 in conference play, and a chance to make history with Morningside coming to Crane on Saturday. 1 p.m. kickoff. We'll have coverage on KYNT, KYNTV right here. With that said, that's our week in review of Mount Marty Athletics. A very good week for Mount Marty programs. A lot of wins in there. Let's go ahead and take a break now on the Lancer Locker. When we come back, Dan Tibbett of the Mount Marty University soccer team. He is a senior, once again, out of England. We spent a lot of time talking with him earlier today, and that conversation is up next. This is the Lancer Locker on KYNT.
Attention homeowners, if you've been on the fence about selling, I'd love the opportunity to sit and visit with you. With low inventory, now would be a good time to call me, Deb Speck at Vision Real Estate. I'll provide you with a free market analysis and a no-pressure approach. Call me at 605-664-5555 to find out if now is the right time to make a move.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more. All at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. For your convenience, you can call and order curbside pickup or order online at meatlodge.com. The Meat Lodge in Yankton, on the way to the lake on Highway 52.
Brand names like Ashley Furniture, Lazy Boy, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Tempur-Pedic fill our sales floor and our warehouses. At Slumberland, we're passionate about what we sell: furniture, mattresses, and home decor. We take pride in selling high-quality products at a great price. You deserve to have the home you want, and at Slumberland, we want to help you achieve it. Live in the home of your dreams. See us at Slumberland in Yankton, 2401 Broadway.
Taylor is living the Runza dream.
The Fry Life is the high life.
He's stacking up rewards on the Runza mobile app.
Points on points on points on points.
That's a lot of free food from Runza.
Yep, I'm headed there for lunch today.
Download the Runza mobile app to start getting rewards. Because Runza makes it all better.
Runza on Broadway by Menards in Yankton.
Did you know Sherco offers more than egg tarps? As an industry leader in construction, waste, and flatbed tarping systems, Sherco offers manual and electric tarp systems for not only grain trailers and grain carts, but also side dumps, end dumps, belly dumps, roll-offs, flatbeds, and more. To learn more, give us a call at 1-800-474-8756 or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best, demand Sherco.
All right, we're back here on the Lancer Locker on KYNT. As promised, talking men's soccer this week with one of the senior captains of the program, as well as the head coach coming up in a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and welcome in Dan Tibbett, now a senior out of Cambridge, England, who is playing for the Mount Marty Lancers, one of the captains. Welcome into the program, Dan.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you came over across the pond from England, obviously. I want to start with that. Walk me through your journey, obviously, after high school, going to a JUCO, coming to Mount Marty. Why did you decide to come here?
Yeah, so finished up high school back home and decided to take a year out as kind of COVID was happening around then, and it just felt right to take a bit of time out from school, give myself a little break, and didn't really fancy going to university back home, so was kind of assessing different options. And
you didn't want to go to Cambridge, huh?
More so, I wouldn't get into Cambridge.
That's
I think
fair. I wouldn't have either.
Yeah, so kind of playing around with different options and came across the US kind of sports scholarship route, and it just kind of fell into place for me. I knew that was what I wanted to do, so kind of got the ball rolling with that, and ended up signing to a junior college in Kansas, Garden City. Spent 2 years there, which was definitely a really good experience, definitely an eye-opening experience. A lot of character building, I'd say.
Was that your first trip to the US as well?
Not my first one. No, I've been to New York City.
Okay.
Back when I was a bit younger.
But more just as tourists.
Yeah.
First time actually being here for a long period of
yes,
time. How was
correct.
that in Kansas?
Yeah, it was definitely different. It's a different way of living than to back home for sure. But it was all a new experience, and one that I definitely took in my stride, and I'm really happy that I done and got the opportunity to do so.
When it comes to coming from Cambridge, I assume that's probably a larger city. And then you go to Kansas. What was the name of the city you were in Kansas?
Garden City.
Garden City was the actual name, both of the college and the city. How big is that? I'm assuming not very. It's Kansas.
I think it was just a tiny bit bigger than Yankton.
Yeah. All right. So what was that kind of like, going from the big city in England to heartland United States?
Yeah. Like I said, definitely different for sure. Definitely a few lifestyle changes that I had to get used to. Kind of everything being a bit more spaced out, and because back home you can everything's kind of in walking distance. So if I sort of wanted to just, I don't know, go grocery shopping or just go to the mall or anything like that, I could honestly just go down and walk there. But for here it's a little bit different. Everyone kind of drives, so just little things like that. But yeah, as I said, it was just all a new experience and one that I just fully immersed myself into. And yeah, I was really, really happy I got the opportunity to do that.
And then you came over to Mount Marty University. Walk me through the recruitment process there.
Yeah, so finished up my sophomore season playing down in Garden City. Basically, essentially, as soon as the season finished, my mind obviously went to the next step, which was obviously finding a 4-year school. Reached out to various different coaches. Kind of went back and forth with a few, but for various different reasons, they just weren't kind of getting me. And eventually ended up reaching out to Coach Tieleman, and we had a few conversations, few chats, and he was able to get me down for a visit as well. So that really helped, being able to come here and seeing things, like things like the field house and things like that are really, really eye-catching for a new recruit. And just kind of the more we talked, the more he persuaded me in a sense. It just felt right and felt like the right move, and everything else came into play. All the factors added up. So yeah, I just pulled the trigger, and thankfully I did. It's been a really, really good time here so far, and long may it continue.
So you found the guy, you found the place, and you came to Mount Marty. That sounds
sure.
Good.
Yeah.
So tell me about Yankton now. When you first came here, what time of year did you come here?
For my visit?
Yeah.
February.
So you came in the middle of winter, so it was probably pretty cold.
Yeah.
I know it gets a lot colder here than it does over across the pond where you were at.
Sure.
So what's that like?
Yeah, it was definitely, definitely, like I said, an experience. Seeing that amount of snow was quite something.
What year did you come over?
2023.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And so that would have been the crazy snowy winter where we had historic records. Okay, so that was an introduction.
Yeah, that
All
was.
Right.
Yeah, I remember speaking to Coach before, and he said, this is I think the worst winter we've had on record for a few years now.
It was right up there. Yeah, it was definitely something, I tell you what. But yeah, that was an interesting introduction.
For sure.
I'm glad that didn't drive you away.
No. Yeah.
Have you, obviously you said you were in a walking city before, obviously over in England. Now you have to kind of drive everywhere. Have you gotten used to that yet? It's been a couple years.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Luckily I have very nice teammates all around me who are able to accommodate and help us international guys out, which is, it's really nice of them.
That is good. So talking about your teammates and the team itself, obviously you were voted as a captain this year. Can you tell me about your program and what are some of the expectations you guys have set for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I think that last spring, Coach kind of spoke to me a lot about how he envisioned this season going and the kind of styles and sort of just ways he wanted to play and different things he wanted to implement. And I can honestly say that pretty much all of that has translated through pre-season into the season. I think there's definitely a clearer style in how we want to do things and how we want to play, maybe to previous years, and that's been really positive to see. But the one thing for me about this year, I just think we're bonding a lot more as a team, and where the team chemistry seems to be a lot better this year, a lot tighter unit, which has been really, really good to see. And I think that's been reflecting on how we've been playing. I think we're fighting for each other. We're we're not giving up just for ourselves, but just because we want to do it for the person next to us. And I think, it's been really positive. And I just hope it continues, and I think it will.
Let's get back to you now. Tell me about the classroom, your major, your minor.
Yep, so I'm majoring in exercise science, and it's something I've really taken a keen interest in right from when I was younger. I kind of knew I wanted to go down the exercise kind of sporting route, and the classes at Mount Marty for that have been really interesting. A key person for last year for that was Daniel Fleahy. He was a really good professor. Unfortunately, he has left now to pursue another route. But so his classes I really found interesting and appealing. And it's been really good, and only kind of spurred me forward to go and kick on with that and explore it post college.
Let's talk post college then. Obviously you're a senior, so it's getting to that point where you got to figure out your plan. Do you have one yet?
I would say I have options, which is nice.
Yes, absolutely.
I just kind of one day I think I could go and do this, and the next thing so it's kind of chopping and changing. But
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I would say my true interest and passion lies within strength and conditioning. I really do enjoy that side of things. Like when we go and lift in the weight room, Coach Matty takes us for our lifts, and I'm always communicating with him, and he's always correcting my form and things like that. So it's good to see. But he's a good guy that I can learn a lot from, and I have learned a lot from. So perhaps going into that, working in a team environment with that, or even kind of in a commercial gym environment, personal training, things like that. And the other side that does interest me is the kind of rehabilitation side with sporting injuries and things like that. That is also really interesting, but it's just whether or not I choose to go and pursue a master's, I think. So that's kind of the main decision I have to make within the next couple months. So
that decision is certainly coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
When it comes to destinations, do you have in mind where you want to go? Do you want to stay on this side of the Atlantic? You want to go back home for a while? What's going on?
Again, it's a tough one. I would say if the right option came up, I would be interested in staying here, seeing what I can do here and what offers there are. But I think ultimately I would be going back home on a more sort of permanent basis. I think home is home.
Home is home.
Yeah.
Speaking of home, tell me about your family, the support staff back home.
Yeah, so mum, dad, younger brother. My younger brother's actually in Australia currently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's doing kind of like a working, traveling type trip there. So he's living a good life for sure. And my parents are just the absolute backbone to everything I do. I can't thank them enough for what they've done and how they've supported me, especially through being out here. It's if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here for sure. So everything I do, on the field, in the classroom, whatever it is, to make them proud, and hopefully I've done that.
And it's got to be a little bit interesting, obviously, with not only them being so far away, but the time difference.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in bed when you're in the middle of your day. With the time difference, so they probably don't get to watch all of your games. They don't get to come out, obviously, being across the Atlantic. What's that been like?
Yeah, so it's about a 6-hour time difference. Kind of afternoon here is their evening. My dad, bless him, he tries his best to stay up for the late games, and he does, to be fair. He watches most of them.
Nice.
And I always get the post-match rundown of what I could have done better and things like that. That's been going on since I was about 6, and I don't think it will stop. So, but no, it's good. It's like I said, I can't thank them enough for their support.
Well, I'm glad you got the good support staff there. Even if you don't get to maybe go back there for a job, if you take one here, maybe it'd be good to go visit. I hope
for
you
sure.
get to do that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you for coming in and talking with me today. This was certainly a good talk. Do you have any final message you'd like to say to Lancer Nation or anybody else?
Go Lancers.
Go Lancers. I like it. And thank you very much for coming. That's Dan Tibbett, one of the senior captains for Mount Marty University men's soccer. Let's go ahead and take a break. Come back in a couple minutes with the head coach of the program, head coach Oliver Tieleman.
Everyone loves something different about our buffet, which is good because buffet has something for everyone. This is Annie from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Come in and fill your plate with good food that makes you feel good inside. Don't see your favorite pizza on the buffet? Request it using Buffet Your Way. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the very first slice. Grab the country's best chicken paired with tasty sides and finish off with sweet cactus bread at Yankton Pizza Ranch.
Quit hitting the snooze button on your new career. Wake up to recently increased wages, day one benefits, and an employer who puts you first. Grind through the workday in your own specialty. Assembler, machine operator, material handler, or line operation tech. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $2.35. Choose your shift and enjoy day one benefits. This isn't just a job, it's your future. Join us today. Find more information and apply now at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
Great football teams have key players in the lineup, and that's also true at Lewis & Clark Ford. The new 2024 Lincoln Navigator is big enough to cart your team around, and right now at Lewis & Clark Ford, get up to $6,500 off and 0% for 60 months. The hard-working 2024 F-150 has up to $13,000 off with Ford Flex Buy. See us for the details. We got a great team and great deals here at Lewis & Clark Ford, 4th and Capitol, Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Farming is hard work. Between managing crops, livestock, and equipment, there's not much time left to handle financing and loans. At Dakota Mac, we can help you do the heavy lifting when it comes to ag financing. Whether you're a full-time farmer, an investor, or a young and beginning farmer, we're here for you for all your ag lending needs. Let Dakota Mac help you work smarter, not harder.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker now with the head coach of the Mount Marty men's soccer program, Oliver Tieleman. Thank you for coming in and talking with me today, Coach. I've been excited to watch some of these home games this week. You've got one Wednesday, you've got one Saturday. Crane, the Fortress, you're back home.
Oh, you know it. No, happy to be back here again. It's nice.
It's happy to have you back here as well, especially with the season off to a good start. You're 1-1 in conference, 4-4 overall, with 2 opportunities at home coming up this week. It's still early in the season. You just started conference play, obviously, but can you tell me some of the expectations and goals for this season?
I mean, biggest goal for us is just get back into the playoffs. Obviously, the top 8, go to the GPAC playoffs. So just getting back into that group is the main one.
Last time when you were there, you nearly got the upset over the 1 seed, so that was certainly fun.
No, I always love being an underdog and fighting from underneath and getting to it. But no, main goal is just to get back into the top 8. A higher goal would be win that first playoff game for the school. And to host a playoff game would be fantastic. But it's going to take a lot from the boys and from me to get to that stage. So all the boys are bought in and really working towards that. It's great to see.
Coach, when you talk about Crane being the Fortress, you've always talked about how you want it to be your stadium. You really want to control it. You've got 2 opportunities this week in Jamestown on Wednesday, Dort on Saturday. What needs to happen this week for you to get those wins?
It just, honestly, the boys have the information. They all have the system that we're playing, so it's just on them to implement it in the right ways. When we'll go over film the next couple of days for both teams, making sure that they pick up what they need to pick up and go and get it. Fortress, we always love playing at Crane. We practice there, obviously. So it's comfortable for us. We know the width. It's a little bit skinnier than most fields. So a lot of teams don't like coming to us, which I love. So and then obviously fans come down, make it more of an environment, and we love playing there. So it'll be good to see Jamestown again. Obviously they're an independent school now. They're outside the GPAC. So set up that game last year. Good to see them again. And then big conference game against Dort. So if we can go through both of those with a win, we'll be sitting very pretty moving into the next stages of conference play.
Let's talk about some of your guys here. Obviously, we've still got Dan Tibbett in the booth. He was here in the last segment, and he's still sitting here, so be kind. Be kind as you talk about him. But tell me about this guy.
Oh, Dan, he's a natural leader for us. Always talking, always bring the boys up. Even when I'm not around, he's able to get in there and get them riled up. He's a good voice on the field for us, and he's just good guy to have in your program, a good leader in your program, and I don't know what I'm going to do without him next year.
And we talked a lot with him, obviously, about being an international student, and you're an international coach. You came over from New Zealand, so that's got to be pretty nice for you and your players. You might be somebody they can rely on of things in this area. What's that been like?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps with recruiting. Obviously, being an international, I know what they can and can't do, and pathways and Yankton for them, because I went through the same thing. So there's in the Yankton community, we've got some great supporters, and the Mount Marty's got the hospitality families. So they set up a family with a student who's far from home, whether it be overseas or potentially a further away state like Texas or California. And just having those setups is fantastic. And I know that they can relate to me, and I can get to them, working with them on that. But it's the biggest thing for them is just getting around town. Rides to Walmart, rides to get their social security, to get their driver's license, those sort of things. So biggest things, the cars.
How often are you driving players just to go to Walmart? How often?
Well, when I was a GA and assistant, I did my hard yards. So normally they ask my assistants or GAs for those. I've got a Ford Ranger, and only has 2 seats in it, so
there you go. Good excuse right there. You get the 2-seater, so you don't have to drive people. I like that. Let's talk about your assistants now. Give me the rundown on your coaching staff.
Yeah, so we've got Joe Coleman. He's new this year. He came in from the University of Alabama Birmingham, where he was a video analysis for them. So him coming in, fresh face, fantastic in front of film. He'll watch the games 3 times, which is a lot. I don't know how he does it, but
it's a lot of film.
It's a lot of film. And he's been just invaluable for me, just helping me out with tactics and how we go into games and making sure that we understand our opponent before our game. Because, I mean, we've only got 2-3 days before each game, so we need to be able to get through that process quite quickly so we can get that information to the players. And then I've got 2 graduate assistants, both former players. Diego Sanchez, he's in his 2nd year of the master's program. First year as a coaching GA. He's been fantastic. Obviously, he's been with the program, I think, 4 or 5 years now. And it's just nice to have that player there who's been through it, who knows the history and can help out the players. And he's got great knowledge of the game and helps with our players. And then Sebastian Aguero, he was a goalkeeper for us. One of the best we've had in a while, and he works with our goalkeepers, which is invaluable for our sport, because if you don't have a goalkeeper coach, it can be quite tough to keep them developed and keep them moving forward. So to have him at every practice working with our goalkeepers is invaluable. And I mean, we got GPEC Defensive Player of the Week last week for Alessio Pirello, and Sebastian's a part of that, just helping him improve and giving him those technical skills, developing everything, improving him. So yeah, coaching staff is very supportive and working hard this year.
Coach, let's talk about you and kind of your journey as a head coach. You're constantly learning, constantly needing to learn new things. You were coaching for, I believe, 9 years before you came to Mount Marty. You started here as as a GA, your assistant, now a head coach of the program. What are some of the big lessons you have learned as a head coach over the last couple of years?
Ooh, that's a big question, Tal.
Yeah, I
know. I think just obviously when I was only 18 when I started coaching. It was just because I love the game so much, and I couldn't do it with my feet. But I work it out in my head, but I couldn't do it with my feet. So it was a bit of coach than a player. But honestly, it's just kind of a little bit of Ted Lasso there, but just being that goldfish and forgetting about stuff, or being able to move on from mistakes. Obviously, you can't go 17-0 every year, so it's important that if you make a mistake, you recognize it and learn from it so you don't make it again. And just being able to keep things going, because there's ups and downs in the season, and it's how you get through it. Like last year, was a tough season for me, mentally, everything. So to work through that, understand what was happening was huge, and we're seeing the dividends on this side. We've already beaten the amount of wins that we had last year, so it's just making sure we keep chugging forward and don't dwell on mistakes or things that have already happened that we can't change.
Coach, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming in and talking with me. Do you have any final message that you'd like to say?
No, just get down. We've got 2 home games. Wednesday night, 7:30, come down, and then 7:30 on Saturday too. Come defend the Fortress with us.
Both one of those double headers. Women's games start at 5 as well.
Not on Wednesday.
Not on Wednesday, excuse me. Saturday will be. Saturday's going to be a big day. 1 p.m. football, 5 p.m. women's soccer, 7:30 p.m. men's soccer. Just come out on Saturday for sure. That'll be fun. All right, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Oktoberfest is a brief moment of fall beer drinking beauty. So have Samuel Adams Oktoberfest on hand as the nights get cooler and the days a little shorter. Smooth taste with the roasty sweetness and light hop character that's only available for a short time. Kick off cooler weather with food and friends, and don't miss a moment with Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. Grab it while you can at your favorite place to buy beer.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
When the leaves start to fall and the air turns crisp, there's only one beer to reach for: Shiner Oktoberfest. Brewed in the heart of Texas, the Marzen-style beer is packed with caramel malts and a hint of hops for that smooth, toasty flavor perfect for cooler nights. Whether enjoying the changing colors or gathering around the fire with friends, Shiner Oktoberfest is your perfect companion for fall weather. So raise a glass and enjoy the season with Shiner Oktoberfest.
Hello, here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
A big thank you from Mount Marty University to one of Yankton's greatest employers and friend of the community, Aztec. They're very proud to support the Mount Marty Lancers. The vision at Aztec is to build industry-changing solutions that create life-changing opportunities. And you can build a career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. Click careers at aztecindustries.com. Best wishes, Mount Marty, from your friends at Aztec.
All right, back here on the Lancer Locker for the final time today. My name is Tel Tanner. Thank you very much for tuning in, listening to the show wherever you are. Welcome in our fans from England as well, which is pretty cool, over in the UK. Dan was super fun to talk to. I really enjoyed that conversation today. Oliver Tieleman, as always, I enjoy talking to that guy. He's just a fun dude. He's a fun dude, and I really liked the international angle we were able to take today of getting kind of a look into the life of what it's like for some international students. I guess that makes sense, but I'd never really thought about how difficult it might be not having a car as you get here, and you got to kind of ask your coaches for rides for something as simple as going to Walmart. That's kind of funny. But I'm glad they're getting it figured out, and I'm glad the team is performing really, really well. Once again, they've got that 500 record right at the moment, and there are multiple games in Yankton this week, including Wednesday night for a matchup with Jamestown at 7:30 in non-conference action, and then Saturday. There's a lot going on Saturday. 1 p.m. the Lancer football plays at Crane. Then at 5 p.m. women's soccer versus Dort. 7:30 p.m. men's soccer versus Dort. Just spend the day out at Crane Youngworth Field. There's going to be a whole lot of fun there. The volleyball team, they're also going to be in action on Saturday. They are going to be up in Mitchell, South Dakota versus Haskell Indian Nations University up in Mitchell for that one. They will also be in action tomorrow evening with the Mount Marty Lancer volleyball team, and we'll have coverage of that one on KYN TV. You can stream it, watch it on KYN TV. That's our YouTube channel. You can watch the game there. Versus Dakota State University, non-conference action tomorrow night. 7:30 will be the start of that one. We'll go live right at 7. My name is Tel Tanner. This is KYNT's The Lancer Locker. Big thank you to Dan and Oliver for coming in and speaking with me today. That was just a lot of fun. This show is a lot of fun. I enjoy getting to do it every week, and it has come to a close. Until tomorrow evening when we welcome you into Mount Marty Volleyball, that'll do it for tonight.